Alright, all you dusty guy and dusty gals, here we go again. This time we're doing, excuse me, this time we're doing a center flute. In other words, we're doing an odd number across our 1x8, 2x8, whatever you want to call it. Okay, here's, and this is a lot easier to calculate because this is the one we were doing a minute ago. So what you want to do is just find the center, and we'll do that one first, which of course 7 1/8. I'm just going to call it 3 9/16 to be the center. Turn it the other way, check it. Yeah, 3 9/16, that's close enough for me. Alright. Well, you've already got your table set up because you got that from the first video. Now this time all we need to do is just get the center. So we got to set this here. Cords are always getting in the way. Alright, there's my center mark. So we need to put this router bit right on the center of that center mark. We get that. Put one screw in your router, front or back. Okay, that one's not that critical. This is the critical one. This is where you need to move the router around till you find pretty much. In other words, you got to move this and you got to move this to find pretty much dead center. That looks like it. Raise it up. Push the router down. Oh boy, if I can get myself over here. Okay, check it again. We show to be dead center. Alright. Same thing. The two lines. There are stopping point, stopping and starting point. Figure out where you want them. On there. On there. Okay. Right her back up here. And we're going to fire it up and run our first one. I think you can. Okay, got our center one. Now what we do from this, since there's going to be 5 of these across here, and you know, of course the same thing, you'll have to come in from the edge and say you're going to do, you know, 3/4, ½ inch from the edge. So I'm just going to say 3/4. Same thing on the other. Well, of course, the other side is going to be automatically 3/4 if we set this one up. But that's going to be the edge of your bit. So you got to get the center, which half of that would be 1 inch. So 1 inch. Set that up. Get your mark. Then come from here to the center of this one, which is, and I'm just going to say pretty much 2 1/2. So that brings it back up to 1 1/4 inches to center again. And holy cow, we've already got the thing set up, already cut. So 1.25 inches would be the center. Put our router back in the center. Take same thing you did on the first video. Set your block. We'll use the old junk one. That'll be our stop, our main stop. Make sure it's tight against the. Okay. Now we want to take the router loose. We want to move it over 1.25 inches. 1.25 inches over we go. Okay. Let's see, where's my screws? Lost my screws. There's one. Now you want to pull the router all the way over to your new stop. And here again, it doesn't matter if it goes front or back. I just try to keep it in the center. Okay. Okay. All right, now you can see we've got the 3 done. We still got to do one more. So what we do is we put another 1.25 inches. We'll measure this one. It should come out to be, yeah, it's exactly 1.25 inches, since that's what our spacer is. So now we put another 1.25 inches. I'll see if I did this right. Okay, now let's see what we got on the edge over here. Wrong way. We have 3/4 of an inch, and that's what we wanted. I hope you can see that. 3/4. And then we have our 5 flutes. And one thing I didn't show you earlier, right here, this is kind of one of those things I kind of overlooked. There's a little divot right there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but as a router is going up and you stop and you start coming back the other way, the router, that little bit of slop you got in that router will cause that bit to shift one way or another. And so what you ought to do, the same thing I do, especially on this very last one I did, is just rerun the router down the same flute. Run the router down the same flute, but just push it that way, clean that side up, and then pull it all the way this way and clean that side up. And that way you come out like I've got over here. This is if I get this thing right, this thing's a pretty clean flute. I mean, yeah, pretty clean flute all the way down. No divots. So you might do that after you get done. Anyway, well, that's pretty much about it. I wish you luck on doing your flutes, and I know you can do it.